Today on Woodturning, we're gonna make a slingshot.
Tim's American Beauty was made by Robust Tools, America's premier lathe manufacturer. Robust. Built to turn wood. Enjoyed for a lifetime.
Easy Wood Tools, best in class carbide wood turning tools. I never wanted a Red Ryder BB gun. I wanted a slingshot. And my buddies and I'd go around shooting army men and had all sorts of things going on that we would rescue people and everything with our slingshots. Hey, we didn't have a lot of money. Anyway, I got this kit from Penn State Industries, and it comes with politically safe ammunition. We're not going to worry about that. It comes with instructions, comes with the rubber bandy part, comes with a post that goes into the handle you make, and then it comes with a creme de la creme, this beautifully forged, or whatever, piece of steel. And this is amazing. Everything's really heavy duty about this. So, being heavy duty, we're going to continue with that and go with one of the most beautiful woods and strongest woods on earth, Cocobolo, to make the handle. Before we get to turning, I want to thank our sponsors, Robust Lathes and Easy Wood Tools, because without them, we wouldn't be here. And that would really suck. And by the way, I am an authorized Robust Lathe dealer, so if you're looking for a new lathe, give me a call, or email me, or text me, or just don't stalk me. Okay, so I want to get this going, and to drill the hole, I've got to do one thing first, is I need to mark the center of this. We're going to hold it in a chuck, right? So I've got it in the chuck. I'm going to lightly tighten my Easy Wood chuck there. Over here I have a point on my Robust center, and this point comes in and out, which is kind of neat. But I'm going to slide this down here, and I've already made, I think Brian can see it, an X to show the center of the wood there. So I'm going to loosen the chuck so it wiggles. I'm going to bring this up and put this right on that X. I don't have my glasses on, Brian. Is that close?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, good. So now we're slightly touching. I'm going to crank it in a little bit. So I put some pressure on it, and now I tighten it down. So now I've got the piece of wood running on center, so when I drill the hole, it's going to go straight. And how we're going to drill the hole is going to be with a Jacob's chuck. So I've mounted the blank now between centers, and I have a steb center on this end, and on this end is my Robust live center with the cone they provide, and the cone fits in the hole that I just drilled. So technically everything is perfectly centered. So all I want to do is get this roughed out, and then we're going to start working on the shape of the handle. So this is our handle layout. I want to have a knob up top, a knob at the bottom, and a place to grab it in the middle. Kind of complicated, huh? So this end is the end with the hole that's going to hold that drill. So we're going to make a mark there. Then we're going to make a mark down here. And we want to leave a little bit of an end on there so we can clean this up and make it look good. So start the lathe up. Oops, wrong button. I think I've done this before. So we'll make our circle go all the way around. Now the slingshot, part of the slingshot is going to butt straight up against this piece of wood, and I made sure that's straight so we don't have to worry about that. Now I'm going to take an Easy Wood square cutter. This is the one that has a slight radius to it. And I like the radius because it doesn't dig in as much. So you can kind of swing in like that. Now this is just a flat presentation. If anything, you want to go down with the tip, but you don't really want to go up. Up it won't cut, but also it can give you a little bit of chatter. So I'm just going to roughly start making a bead here, and that little rounded edge on this cutter helps me make that shape very easily. Beads are a nightmare for me, and I like the way this makes that work. Now I kind of know the diameter I need, because when you look at the way the slingshot is rigged up here, You kind of don't want this to be like a ugly transition. Is that about the best way to say that? So I know I need about that width down there to make this flow into that dot. Dot? It's not a dot, it's a bead, really nicely. So we'll come down here and we're going to keep working on the bead here. And so now I have the rough shape of that. I might make that thinner in a minute, but we're going to start reducing the shank or the handle part of the handle. So we got our shape. I modified it a bit from the last one. I like to swale it in here and out there. It's going to fit really nice in the hand. Cool thing is, left some sapwood in here, and that is awesome. Now the tool finish off the easy wood is great, so I'm probably going to start at a 120 grit, which might even be too much. But I'm going to sand this through about 300 grit. Then we're going to use some paste wax that has grit in it to shine this thing up, and it will be beautiful. It'll really pop. So I'm doing my second stage of my Yorkshire Grit microfine abrasive. I did the first abrasive, which is coarser. The microfine is finer. It's microfine. So it polishes up the wood, and Cocobolo, having such a high oil content, that is why they call it the king of woods. Maybe I'm gonna put a little pressure on here, burn it in a bit. So come over here. Hey, you can see I'm polishing my live center there too, so I got to stay off of that a bit. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Rub it in hard. See what it looks like now. Oh, isn't that incredible? And look at the light and dark contrast. That's amazing. So, one, to not leave well enough alone. I want to make a design here, so I want to do 3 lines towards the top here and 3 lines toward the bottom, and we're going to burn those lines. So I've got the Easy Wood. This is a negative rake point tool. It's really cool. The negative rake makes it a lot easier to handle. So I'm going to just go in there and make a fine line. I'm making my center line. I'm coming over here and making the top line. Now I'm going to go over here and make the bottom line, and it's a lot easier to space things out when you do it this way. So now I have those 3 small lines. I'm going to go to the other end and make 3 wider lines to give me a little symmetry. Now we're going to do some burning, but I've got 2 different diameters of wire. So I'm doing thin lines at the top and thick lines at the bottom because I like the weight of that. So I'm putting this underneath the work and bringing it up. That way if I push and have a problem, if I push from the top and something went bad, I'd be in trouble. I'd go into the wood. This way I'm just pulling up. So I'll just go here. Cocobolo is so dense it's hard to get a black mark. Gotta go a little ways. There we go. Doesn't that look good? Getting this groove. So Brian said this might be like the E string or something off a guitar. So it has a little bit of a texture to it. It's several wires together. Makes a really fine, wide line. Fine, wide line, is that oxymoron? Okay, so we're gonna go with a little bitty skinny one and get it in my groove there. And it burns really well too. Getting nice and dark there. Move to the next one. I just think little touches like this are great on a project that looks simple like this, but when you put in the little details, it really makes it special. Get this last line burned here. I'm going to nip the end off on the bandsaw, and we're going to assemble this thing. So the assembly is pretty easy. You just thread this on, and like I said, this thing is overkill. This thing is the strongest steel around. It's amazing. And since I did not make this too tight, that fits in there just like that. I highly recommend that you use epoxy when you're gluing this in. That way it'll hold really well. Well, how do you put this thing on? You simply take the rubber band and you pull it, and boop, it pops in the hole. See, pops in the slot, and then you just pull it to where it's symmetrical, like so. Isn't that cool? Do this on the other side. So much fun. Doing it backwards, I'll probably drop it now. There we go. So there we go. So I'm going to put some quick set epoxy in here, and then we're going to go out and test this. So the kit came with these. That's not going to hurt anything. So I got these. These are biodegradable BB ammunition. So they're made of clay, so they disappear once you've used them. There's no evidence that you used them either. Let's see how it works. Woo! That's pretty good. Let's try one more.
Tim's American Beauty was made by Robust Tools, America's premier lathe manufacturer. Robust. Built to turn wood. Enjoyed for a lifetime.
Easy Wood Tools, best in class carbide wood turning tools.